Welcome back to what I believe is the fourth episode of the Moon Math podcast. I'm here with Mezma, and today we're going to talk all things Bitcoin and stacks. We'll start off talking a bit about Ordinals. Mezma, what's been going on in the Ordinals community as of late, or as of the last time we talked about stacks and Bitcoin?
For sure. So it's been quite a while since we had pod, so I'll try to go back a little bit to the history that I had with Ordinals over the last few months. I started my journey right there with Honey Badgers, which is one of the first 10K projects on Ordinals from last year in 2023.
Do you want to talk a bit about what Ordinals are before?
Yeah, for sure. Ordinals started 2023, and it's basically a way, simply, it's just to make NFTs on Bitcoin. And you've probably heard of BRC20s, and that's using the same standard, but it's the token form. So you can trade tokens in BRC20, and then you can trade the NFTs in Ordinals. That's basically it. I won't go into all the details of how it works and everything. It's not really worth the time. But yeah, so that's Ordinals, and that just blew up, right? And so we saw a frenzy of that last year, where we had insane volumes coming in for Bitcoin miners, right? I was listening to a video yesterday from like one of the top miners. He was saying how at one point they were making more fees than the actual block reward, which is crazy. It's insane, right? So the block reward every 10 minutes, they're earning more in the fees in the block reward. It's incredible. And so that fluctuated, right? It died down at the end of 2020, into the fall of 2023. And then just as we're getting into 2024, boom, Ordinals blowing up again. So I, of course, I go on Magic Eden, which has the Ordinals. You can buy right there on their NFT platform, and I bought the Honey Badgers, and they're awesome because they just dive into every single ecosystem, and the guys in the Badgers are also the same guys that are behind STX 20, which we've talked about on the show before. And they're doing a lot of other cool things like S Ordinals, which is actually scaling Ordinals, and we'll get into that a little bit later in the episode. But yes, that's where Ordinals have been. There's a ton going on in there, lots of drama as always in crypto. But yeah, I've just been buying a couple projects. So I bought the Honey Badgers. I bought the monochrome ones, which are these like white and black NFTs. They're really cool. I like those. And then probably the coolest thing I did in the Ordinal space was minting the Lil Sappos. So it was my first mint for the Ordinals. And yeah, I minted about 20 of those. They're these like little pixelated frogs, and they're from the same artist from the Honey Badgers. So that was cool. Love those. See where those go. But yeah, it's been kind of like just been slow grind away. Right when a project starts, you kind of just have to wait it out, and you want more holders, right? Because you still have a couple of those guys that have 10, 20, 30 of these NFTs that they're going to dump eventually. So you just kind of need to wait it out. And then I think long term, some of these are going to be really exciting. So you definitely pay attention to the Ordinal space.
So Sappos are like pretty low cap Ordinals, like you minted those?
Yeah, exactly. They're super cheap because there was no mint price. You just had to send BTC to this one address, and then it would send it back to you. It was actually a really cool mint process. It wasn't that difficult. But yeah, it was all you had to pay for was the gas, right? The Bitcoin gas. So for that, it wasn't that much.
Yeah. And then you kind of did like an innovation with S Ordinals and like the Moon airdrop that you did.
Yeah, that was super fun. That was one of the craziest nights in a while. It's basically that team, the STX 20 team, they came out with S Ordinals. And this happened out of nowhere, really. But people had been talking like, oh, we could make a new inscription Ordinal type deal on stacks instead of just the normal stacks NFTs like you'd find on Gamma.io, like Happy Welsh, the Bitcoin Birds, the normal Stacks NFTs. Instead of those, let's make a new one that's kind of like the Ordinals Bitcoin. And so we've had a couple different ones, like StacksInscriptions.com, I think it is, and then we have Ordinals. But I remember a few weeks ago, maybe it was a month ago now, we were trying to talk about doing this, and I wanted to mint this red moon picture I had. And out of nowhere, they just released this the other week, and then we pounced on it. So I made a thread about how to make one of these, right? So it just started. And I knew that the meta for the Bitcoin Ordinals is being one of the first projects to inscribe, right? So I said, all right, let's go ahead and try to mint some red moons, which are these pixelated photos, under 10,000. So I was able to get 100 red moon inscribed under the first 10,000 inscriptions. So that was really exciting. And all you had to do to claim one was comment your STX address on the original thread that I made on X. So that was really fun. It was totally fair mint, and yeah, it's been really exciting. So that's red moon, and then of course more people wanted a moon, so we made blue moon, and we did 200 of those.
Yeah, that was super fun. Got a ton of engagement on that, and a lot of people in the Discord, and a lot of new eyes on Stacks, I bet.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to get too into the weeds of the different NFT standards, but I do want to mention, like, there's several now on Stacks, so it's getting a little confusing. I think it's going to focus down to probably just two, which is going to be the normal Stacks NFTs, and then this new Ordinal or Stacks inscriptions. I think Ordinal is going to be the one that takes the cake, since they have the STX 20 hype, and it's the same team behind it. So I'm banking on the Ordinals, and that's why I went ahead and tried to make my first NFT project on there, and it's been exciting. So far, it's just 300, so really small. It's not like a normal 10,000 PFP picture with a frog in it or something. It's just a picture of a pixelated moon, red and blue. So we'll see where it goes. They still haven't launched the marketplace, so we're just waiting for that any day now. But we actually already have an OTC transaction happening, which is pretty exciting. So someone's already bidding for a blue moon for 50 stacks, and one of our members has agreed. So I think we might end up getting that going tonight, possibly. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's cool. And let's talk a bit about some upcoming stuff for Stacks, like the Halvening that's happening. Was it this year?
Yeah, so I remember when I was diving into Stacks last year, like really starting to finally dive in because I thought it was time. I saw something about a Stacks halving, but I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I guess I'll check that later. I mean, I heard it was going to be around when the Bitcoin halving happened. And then a couple weeks ago, I was thinking about it again. I was like, I haven't heard about this Stacks halving at all. Like, what's going on there? Is that even a real thing? So I went in, just did some searching on the Stacks threads and on Google, and just saw a bunch of forums and pages on discussions on whether the Stacks halving was going to happen on the time they had planned, right? So the original plan, to give you some history, is that the Stacks Foundation wanted the Stacks halving, first one to occur, during this Bitcoin halving coming up right now in April 2024. They wanted to match up. And because the Nakamoto upgrade is coming, which is going to bring 5-second block times to Stacks, they have decided to maybe adjust that to early 2025 instead. And now there's even another discussion to say maybe we should drop this entirely and wait for the Stacks halving in 2028. So I made a whole thread on this, and it got some people thrown off guard, I think, because a lot of people didn't even realize there was a Stacks halving, and they didn't even know that it was up in the air when it was going to occur. So I think it's some really juicy alpha in there if people figure out maybe that there is actually going to be a halving. It's going to be in 2025 instead of 2028. That's a big difference, okay? Because right now we're at 1,000 stacks as the block reward, and it's going to go down to 500. So that's a massive decrease, the first Stacks halving ever. So that's really cool. Definitely go check out that thread if you're interested.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's talk a bit about like some airdrops that could be upcoming for the Stacks eco.
Yes. So probably the most exciting part about Stacks right now is that it's so new, right? I mean, it's been going on for a while, but I mean, actual apps building on top of it is new, right? Where they're going to soon go live. I'm sure these guys have been building for years, and I'm just coming in here saying that they're just starting, but no, they've been building, but they are just starting to get their token to go live, right? We're having all these points pop up. So
Yeah.
every project has a page now with points coming. Okay, so that's extremely exciting because it's like getting in Ethereum early when all the tokens were just getting going, right? So I'm extremely excited about Stacks. So we have a thread on that, and of course in the Moonmath Discord we have the Airdrop Hunters channel with all of these listed out and the tutorials on each of them. But yeah, there's some really exciting ones going on right now that actually just confirmed and released their points page. So everyone in the group and everyone in Moonmath that has been grinding these airdrops has a bunch of points today, thousands. So it's been really fun, exciting time for the Moonmath fam.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, we got Bitflow. We got Bitflow going right now. They just released their page, and then Stacking DAO, which is the liquid staking for stacks, where you turn your stacks into ST stacks, which is a liquid staking product, so you can actually use the ST stacks in DeFi on stacks, which is really cool. So they're gonna do really well. That's basically like the Lido of Ethereum, right? So
Yeah.
Stacking DAO, those points, they're gonna be massive, massive. Because I don't even think they have any VCs or anything, right? It's gonna go fully to the community. So I'm really excited about Stacking DAO. And then of course this morning we have Bitflow points go live.
Yeah.
And they're actually partnered together. So look into those details. We won't go all into that right now, but definitely check out those details in the airdrop posts.
When did you say the Nakamoto upgrade is coming?
Yeah, the Nakamoto upgrade is supposed to happen now, actually around the halving. So in a couple months, right around April is the goal, I think. Yeah, either before or after. It's not really set in stone. But
So
they've got the test knot going right now. I think it's called Neon, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, lots of stuff going on there.
So with 5-second block times, like what teams could you see building on Stacks versus like other chains? Like obviously like Bitcoin DeFi is one of the great uses for Stacks, but like other things like maybe like DePIN or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Would Stacks be like a good like L1 to use for that?
Yeah, this is a great question because it's an exciting one. It's like we're seeing DeFi just get going, right, on Stacks. Similar to Ethereum, DeFi was the first to get going. And then I think the next one, like you're saying, could be DePIN gaming, right?
Yeah.
Because with 5-second, that's starting to change the game. Right now we can start doing things similar to Solana, not quite there, but similar to Solana, right? You've actually seen Manib, who is one of the founders of Stacks. He was in pictures with Solana folks, and he's posting them on X, right? So it's funny. You're almost starting to see this narrative already start, where you're seeing this like Solana and Stacks team up, and then you just like it's those three in Bitcoin, and Ethereum's just being left out. It's kind of funny, but yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, well, I feel like one of the big advantages that Stacks has is like that liquidity straight from Bitcoin, right?
Yes, exactly.
So if they can like leverage that into other like dApps, like into their ecosystem, like it'll help there be liquidity for like the obviously DeFi, but maybe for other things like DePIN's different, because like a lot of it's like selling data, so I'm not sure like how that would really go together.
DePIN's probably one of the most interesting areas you could talk about in relation to Stacks, because what happened with Render? They left Ethereum, which is pretty damn fast, not the fastest. They left to go to Solana because it's not going to be good enough, right? They're not going to be able to scale enough for render. So what is the case for people that want to do DePIN projects and stacks? Is it going to be enough compared to Ethereum? Just say, okay, we don't need to go to we don't need to go to Solana. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a really interesting question because right now all we're seeing on stacks is DeFi related projects. For the most part, there's a couple other, there's some meme tokens and there's some marketing projects. You got the domain projects, .btc. Yeah, we'll see. DePIN and gaming next for stacks. That'd be really exciting.
Yeah, because it seems like that's where a lot of the L1s are going. Because like DeFi, it's like gotten like a ton of penetration, but most people just like don't care about that type of stuff.
It's true, yeah. Most people don't, and to actually make money in DeFi is not that easy. Staking and pooling, it's not guaranteed. So yeah, I agree. I think there's some more exciting things other than DeFi, even though DeFi will be huge. For normal people, just want to actually have fun every day. It's not going to just be doing DeFi every day.
Yeah, well,
so we'll see. Honestly, we need some social apps too, right? What about social? We haven't even talked about social on stacks, so we'll see.
Yeah, well, I think, like in my opinion, I think DePIN is better for crypto onboarding than gaming at this point.
That's a great point.
Because like when I talk to like people, they're like, oh yeah, like I was gonna buy like this device or like Helium device so I could farm, and like now there's other devices like you can use like Hivemapper, Demo, GeoNet, like there's a ton. There's like some energy ones that you can use as well. Like that's gonna help onboard a lot of people into crypto because they can make hopefully a steady income because there's a marketplace of buyers and sellers for the data that they're producing.
Yeah, I completely agree. I was just gonna say it's like it's gonna click for people too because it's not something happening out of thin air, which is still something people have to get over with Bitcoin because yes, it is thin air. Even though there's miners and all that, there's always gonna be that case where people are gonna have to get over the fact that we're valuing this out of thin air. And yeah, so it's the same case where DePIN, people are going to say, oh, I'm actually getting these tokens because I'm providing a service. I'm providing value. Like, I want to hold this token or I want to tell my friends about it. So yeah, I completely agree. I think DePIN's a great area to get more people in crypto.
Yeah, but I think one of like the issues with DePIN at the moment is like every market's based off supply and demand. So let's say like if I have, let's say like it's a, what's it called, Demo miner for my car, and you have one, and then suddenly like everyone buys one. Then there's going to be so much supply of data that like you'll end up getting paid way less for the data, right? It's kind of like how airdrops get diluted out because there's only a certain amount of money that'll be buying that data, right? Unless more demand comes onto the market.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we saw that with Helium, right? Helium didn't have any demand for the IoT related stuff, right? Okay, so years ago when I first invested in Helium, it was they were advertising it as like an IoT thing where you'd have like a special dog collar and everyone would have these things in their homes where it would just, you'd know where everything is and you'd be able to track everything. And that didn't get a lot of traction. So what did they do? They transitioned to 5G. And boom, now they're actually getting this product market fit. So I mentioned this because over the course of that was an insane dilution. We've talked about the dilution problem deep in. It's insane. So I got destroyed on that, of course, which is fine because I ended up buying more during the last bear market here. But yeah, that dilution killed me and killed a lot of people in there. So that's something to watch out for at DePIN for sure.
I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people stay away from crypto. It's because like it's not really that clear on what a token does. Because like when you buy a stock, every stock is the same. Like they're based on the equity value. But with tokens, it's like completely different. Like depending on what they do. Like Helium, you said Helium's a 2-token ecosystem, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Helium's 2-token ecosystem. Like when you think about other tokens, like let's say like Luna, like it's not really clear what the token represents when you look at it at face value.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And also, Helium does have a third. It's the IoT token, I believe, but it's never talked about. So, yeah, I just remembered that. I wanted to clear that up. So they have the mobile, they have the HNT, and then they have IoT. Oh yeah, just for the DePIN stuff, I think it's important, right? That a lot of these DePIN projects, like you said, they're gonna have issues because of the dilution. And they're going to have issues because people are going to try to figure out how they can milk it as much as possible, right? So people are already buying the Helium service for their phones just so they can milk the mobile tokens, because the mobile tokens are worth more than the Helium monthly payment. You know, I think we talked about that before as well, which is crazy, right? So of course we're going to have these issues. Yeah, but like you said, the revenue's key. Seeing the revenue come in for the project, because retail needs to see this connection. They need to see, why is this token valuable, right? How can I do a discounted cash flow on this, right? How can I relate it to a stock, like you said? Yeah. So I do think DePIN has a great opportunity in that area, because there's very few projects in crypto that actually do make revenue.
Yeah. But yeah, what I was saying like about Luna, like it's not really clear what pushes the token price up.
Yep.
Because
I'm not sure about Luna. You know a lot more about Luna than I do.
So like Luna, like obviously like it blew up, but the mechanism was really like, I want to say like it was innovative, but it was flawed, obviously. So they had like, you obviously know like UST Anchor protocol, which gave you like 20% yields on stable coins, risk-free. And this was back in like 2021, like 2022 before it unwound. And so that was just like a ton of people would mint UST. And in order to mint the UST stablecoin, you have to burn Luna. So that would add buy pressure to Luna and then burn it. So push the price up. But then also, if you want to redeem UST into Luna, then Luna is minted. So like supply comes on the market. Okay. So what people were trying to do was they were trying to depeg UST so that Luna was minted. And then when people realize like, oh crap, like UST is at like 0.98, 0.95, like it's gonna unwind fully, then they redeem. So it's like a negative feedback loop. And this happened a few times, but like Jump Crypto bailed it out a bunch of times, and they used like 9-figure sums to bail it out. And then eventually they're like, this isn't sustainable, and it's just like failed.
Yep. I do remember when the failure happened, that's for sure. It's insane. Yeah, that but
yeah, like think about explaining that to someone who doesn't even understand like how stocks work, and they're like buying that. Like of course they're gonna get wrecked at some point.
Yep, 100%. These people, I mean, it's gonna happen again. We're gonna have another wrecked in crypto land. It's just gonna be something different. Wrapped in
Yeah,
a
but
different,
the really cool thing
cute
about
little
Luna
package.
is that like obviously stable coins found like product market fit in crypto, but there's no way to actually speculate on the expansion in supply of stable coins.
I see. Okay. Yep.
So that's why it was such like a great idea.
Yeah. No. I wonder. I mean, imagine there's probably gonna be more, right? I mean, I'm sure you've heard of the other ones that have tried to come after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an
And
interesting spot. I definitely don't know as much about the Luna area, but yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy what happened there. And isn't he in Dukon or what's his name?
Do Kwon,
Oh, Kwan. Is it?
I think
How's he doing? Where's he at right now?
could be in jail. I don't know.
Yeah, that's too
I'm
bad.
not following too closely.
Yeah, exactly. Me neither. But anyways, interesting.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
I guess
we got
I would want to
we got.
wrap up with what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say we got some good wins going in Moon Math.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to wrap up and say. So, yeah, we went over the bit flow and stacking DAO, which has been awesome. So people already have points for that, which are going to be tokens for sure. And then of course we have Lisa and Papaya now coming, which are other liquid staking products for stacks. So people should definitely be going and trying to use their testnets. Lisa isn't live yet, but you can put your email in lisalab.io. And then for Papaya, their testnet is live. You need to get Faucet testnet STX and Faucet testnet SBTC, and then stake that on their platform. Use it on their platform in any way you can. Pretty sure it's just staking for now, mostly. So yeah, go do that. You're probably going to get on the whitelist for those two, and you'll have points page coming for those as well.
Yeah, getting hyped for the STX Eco.
Yeah, stacks, man. I was talking to someone today again about a couple people. They were just, everyone feels it, right? I mean, you say that in crypto, but stacks, it's obvious, man. It makes sense. It really does. And you know, there's some things the market can give you hints that you're right. And you want to know the biggest hint is Savum, right? Satoshi VM, that huge launch that we just had from them, right?
Yep.
This is another competitor for stacks. Now you can put competitor in quotations because right, it's just started. But it's basically, you know, another way to scale Bitcoin, and you can buy it through Ethereum. And it had an insane launch. Went up like 100x for people in the IDO, and then even like 10x for people that bought it right after it went live. So what does that tell you? That tells you people want Bitcoin-related scaling projects. So Stacks is here to stay. It's gonna have an incredible year, and 2025 too, I think. So yeah, I'm excited to see what's next.
Okay. Anything else you want to discuss?
I think that'll be it. But you guys should definitely be joining Moon Math Discord. You're gonna be snoozing on some more airdrops coming.
I'll throw the link in the comments so you can join up and chat with us.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Okay, peace. Until next time, make sure to like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter at Mezma00 at Daily Moon Crypto. Peace.
Peace.